So we're going to start doing the chart, the illustrations for these sales. So let's get back to Power BI, and we have already connected the information. And with this, we're going to start to analyze this information. Let's start with the small table. Then we go to these visualization icons that we have to the right. And here we select this icon that it says table. Don't confuse with the other one that it says metrics. Just click on table. And then here we have to your left another icon. You can move it to the middle in the center. You can expand it, you can reduce it. It's an icon that I have just created. Icons are created like this. You just select any of these icons, click and ready. So with this icon, what we are going to do is just to place all some of the information that we have found here in our table sales. And we are going to put something like the sellers. So let's go to sellers here to the right. We select this box, check this box, and then automatically will be included in the table selected. It's important that the table will be selected. So here we have our sellers. We have 10 sellers. So to these sellers, we can add more information. For instance, here I would like to know the sales these sellers made. So here we go to sales and I select it, and automatically I will have them all included. You see that this has the currency included, because previously during our best practices was that here in the data we highlighted the sales and we added the currency symbol. Also we made the same with the quantities. We added the comma for the thousand and we abbreviated the date. So that's why it's important to do this at the beginning. So if for any reason you forgot it, maybe you can do it from here. You just select here sales, here to the right. It should be highlighted. And here to the upper part, you can always select the currency symbol too. But this is a good practice to do it since the beginning. Good. So again, I'm going to select this little table that I have here. I'm moving here. And now I would like to know the quantities of items sold. And here you will see how it appears with thousands, because during our good practices I taught you how to do that. And now that I have big figures, it's included the comma. So here we have more than 1 million and more than 7 million in dollars. So here we have our first table. So what we're going to do is just to reduce this, not too much. Just leave some little space, something like this, and we can move it. Where can I move this table? It's not from inside, because if we do this, you are just selecting one of these elements. So just click out again, and then I show you, for instance, if I click on Frank, here is Frank highlighted, but if I click on him again, it's all back. So what we're going to do is just to move from the free part here where there are no data, or from these 3 points that we have at the top. So these are the sides where you can move the table. Therefore I go and just locate it here, place it here to the bottom. I leave it temporarily. So now again we're going to create another table. Click out here. It's important to do that so that the table is not selected again. So click out, and here again I go to select this table icon. So I have my table here, and with this I'm going to add all the products. So I'm going to search the products. Here it is. Or I can just not check it. I can drag it as we did it on the pivot tables. Here I put it below values, here in fields, And there it is. It's just the same as checking the box. So let's open more so we can see the products. There are many, but we just leave it temporarily. So now what I would like to have is tables, the sales. You can pull it out or just check in the box, or drag it to the same table, to the table itself. So you can have now two columns, one of products and one of sales. And here to the right, you can see that below values, you can see both of them. And also I would like to add the quantities. I drag it here to values. So you have three ways of importing information: checking the box, pulling out information to the table itself, or below values. Now I'm going to move it temporarily again next to the sales table. Then I'm going to add a format, color, and all those details. So click out again, and now I'm going to develop 2 or 3 charts. So let's start with this label of bar chart. I selected this. Here it is. You just expand it a little more and just leave it there. So in this chart, I'm going to add the customers. For instance, I have here the customers. I just click on it, and now it's open here where it says access. This is the site of customer. Or I can take it out just clicking on the X, or I can do also this pulling out to the axis field. So here it is. But the information is not given yet because I don't have it ready. This information, it has not so simple information as the fields. It has much more fields that are included in this list. The main ones are this one. So now I will determine that this bar chart, I have customers, but also would like to add the sales. And now you see that immediately here we have our chart with our sales, because we have already 2 fields and they are added immediately to values. So I can pull it out here, the sales. This is another way to do it. So we can add it to the icon here. And we can expand it a little more or reduce it more. And we just leave it here temporarily again. And we will assign the format, the color, the change, the font, all the values that are missing. I click out again to unselect this element, and then we select another chart. Now let's go to choose this column, the second one. And here I have my chart. There is always a position, or maybe it could be located everywhere, but Power BI always gives a location. So you need to just place it correctly, and you can expand it or reduce it. And now here in this chart, I'm going to add the state's name. And so I select this, check the box, and also I'm going to check the sales, and then it goes to values. So here I have my chart of columns showing me the states. Then click out again. Another chart that we have here, like this one, this is a pie chart. Then you click on it, and here you will have it. So I put it over here, and you can see how it is. And now we're going to add the categories. Now you can see here that this chart is involving another fields: legend, details, values, the main 4 ones. So let's going to find it. Where can we add? So if we highlight categories, it will go to general, and if we go to sales, then it would go immediately to values. And now I have the chart with the pie chart already. So category goes to legend, and in this case the sales goes to values. So we will see the other fields. Here I have the pie chart. Then click out to stop selecting this element, and now I'm going to create a line chart. Here it is. And now here is immediately located because that's the free location found by Power BI, and it's bigger. In this line chart, I'm going to add the date. So here I have the date, and just click on it, the date of orders. But also see that the date is on the axis in this area. But in this area, I don't want all of this information here. What I want is just to take it out and remove all that information with this X. And also I'm going to remove the days. So I'm remaining only the months. But according to the months, I'm interested mainly on the sales. And these are the values for the sales of these months. All those sales made from January up to December. Then you have all the register made here. So here we have created our charts. From this point, the chart is dynamic. It's a pivot chart. All the support that I have here is called reports or informations. It's not called as dashboard. So this is now maybe a dashboard when you upload this to your cloud account. But when you have it all registered here, you see here we have our account when we allowed this information, and with so much more elements, when we will create a series of reports, and that it will become a dashboard. So let's get back to Power BI, and here we are creating our report. And now we are doing it on the sheet number 1. So from this point, I can analyze better this information. I see that everything is dynamic and everything is linked among each other. So if you see, if I go directly to one of these sellers, if I select Anne Morris, I click on it here, and you see everything moves depending upon her information only. Now you see she made some sales in Oregon, and the other ones is because she didn't make higher sales than that. So here you see that she is sold to companies H, C, and J, and some other companies, but in very few scale. And her best sales was on the subs category, because this is the highlighted most. And also here are the months, the peak month where she made the sales, only on her case. If I click on Betty case here, you see all the information changes. So if I want to have all the information available, I click again on Betty, and then everything is showing up again. Now again, if I would like to choose a specific product as coffee, then I have all the information related to coffee. All the charts are moving towards information of coffee only. So if I would like to have again back all the information, click on coffee again, and everything will appear back. For instance, here, if I want to know the case of Tennessee, if I click on Tennessee State, here I have all the information highlighted, and the product most sold was drinks, and the company B was the most demanded. So these are the products most sold in Tennessee, and these are the sellers that make higher sales in Tennessee. And then I click again in Tennessee and get back all the information. Then I have the information back. So, excuse me, here is something missing here. Another one that is missing to highlight here. Oh, there it is, in Tennessee. But you need to click on each selection. To avoid all this that you are doing, because you can click in any of these elements and get back all the information, then it's good to select at the top or create at the top some slicers, type of ribbons as you have already seen in Excel. How do you do that? For instance, let's select one of these little icons that I have here. This is the slicer. We have it here to the right, a very small one, and then you click on it and you have this slicer, and we are going to put it at the top as it were a ribbon. And here we're going to add the years. Then we select to the right the field of year. Here we select the calendar, and then by default always when you are adding a date in the slicers, it will appear something like this. Then with these little icons I can go up or down, making a range of the dates. And now it's selecting from this date up to this date. So we have obtained this amount of sales. But sometimes maybe it's a kind of complicated, but sometimes do like working like the way. But there are some people that would like to, for instance, be more precise and then select the date in itself. For instance, the 23rd until the year 2018 up to, let's say, December the 20th. And then it's working from January 23rd, 2018 until December the 20th, 2019. Okay, so we're going to change all this. So as I said it again, I pulled out this information from the slicer, selecting the calendar dates, and here when I need to select in field the date section, and in here you're going to select the hierarchy, the dates hierarchy. We selected here, and now you can see with this layout. So you mean that you don't want the quarters, you don't want to see the months, neither the years. You just want the years only. And that's how you're going to get only, so that you can have a better sorting. So to get back again with the dates, click out in this field, then go to Fields Slicer in Visualizations, and here I move it here to the top. Then I decrease the size to arrange the size, and then I'm going to select again the dates. We already know that this will be in this format, and then we double click on it, and here we highlight the dates hierarchy, and here we have the elements. I don't want year, no quarters, and no days. I'm just remaining with the months. So months remaining, all them. And now we are going to arrange all this. Then once more, click out, and then you select again the slicer. There it is. And here you just arrange all the size. Again, the dates, and click on the dates insert, and here the date hierarchy. And here you remove the year, the months, and days, and then you just stay with the quarters. So here we have all these elements. And now I could say, for instance, something like I would like to highlight information related to 2019, and the month is that I'm going to search is January, and also I'm interested in Q1. Then to get back again to all of this, click again in January and click again in the year, same year, 2019. So all the information gets back. But now there is something missing. I'm missing some cards to show also the sales as the quantities. So what I'm going to do is just select this little icon that is named card. it has 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3. And then I just put it over here, reduce the size. And here I'm going to select the sales. So we just select sales or just drag it to the field. Here it is. And my sales are here. Well, it's in this size as big as it is. It's no problem on that, having it this size. Click out again, then I select again another card. Here is my little card. I just arrange the size. And here I'm going to add the quantities. So I highlight quantities in the checkbox, and here are all the quantities. Okay, so as far as you can see, I have selected each one of these icons with their charts, and I can handle them in a better way. For instance, in year 2018, I had a sales of $1,067,000, and this is the total amount of quantity sold. In quarter number 3, I have a sales of 80,000, and here is the amount of money. But I would like to know also about September, and this amount was sold, and this is the quantities of 25,000. So this card is pretty good because it allows me to see the main information of the numbers, and whenever I go to each of the graphics or charts, I can see the information. Now what we're going to do is to configure all this, then get back, click in the quarters, get back in the month, click again in the year, and there it is, and also in the month here. Okay, so how do I know I have all available? Because the information of the cards is back to the main amount. Okay, so now let's get back to how to set it up of this, the format of this information. First, let's start with the cards. I'm going to select my first card, the sales. So when I select it, then I go to the right side where is visualizations, and below there is a little icon that has this way, and it's called format. When you are selecting one of these elements, then immediately you have all the features and the properties this element has. For instance, as the card, not all elements have the same options. For instance, if you just select a chart of bars, you have different options, or if you select a pie chart, it would be different, and a line chart would be different, and as well as a chart as a table would be different. Every icon has different options, and you can see this in this format. So let's start with the card. Here we're going to the first option that it says data label, and here in data label you're going to decrease the size because it's too big. Then we're going to type as size 30. And then we will go to change this, showing or displaying the units. Here it says auto, but we are going to add none. So with this, I can see the whole figure. I can read the whole figure completely. That's what I wanted. And also it's showing me the decimals. It's $7,355,530.50. So we can take out this decimal to round the number. So what I'm going to do is get back here. I'm going to highlight sales, where are the fields list, and here to the top I take out the decimals. Here decrease to, and you see we have one decimal only. And if I don't want any decimal at all, I type just 0. So now you see there's no decimals. The figure is rounded. So this allows me to reduce the size and don't have too much room occupied. So the same, I could do the same with this, but once you applied the changes, remember that this one involves much more changes. You can select it and then go to home, and here is a format painter, and with this you can copy all the formats. Then you just select this and click on this card, the quantities card, and now here you see that it will adopt the format of the previous one, and there it is. So just reduced to avoid too much space, and also this one too. So we have the size is 30. We just perform one and then make a copy and paste with the format painter. Let's continue with this one, and now we're going to add something else. For instance, we can change the color, and here, as you can see, you can choose any color you would like to, but let's just leave it with this one. And also I'm going to profit this box, this data label. I can add more things, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this shadow. You just activate it here. With this is off, and now just put it into on, and now you have some shadows. Now you see, if I move it around the elements, you have a white background. If you want to take it out, you click on background and turn off. Now it's transparent. Then you can leave it there. Okay, and we can also add more options, obviously, to this icon, to one of each of these options. We can try with one. I will leave you to practice, investigate with each of these options, but these ones are the most important. Okay, so here I have a sales. This heading that we have here, sales, you can delete it. There is one option around here that allows you to delete it, or maybe change it, the position to the top. This will be your challenge. Now again, I make a copy of the format and click on the quantity. So I just copy the same features that I gave to the first chart, the first card. So I have here my two cards. Okay. So it doesn't invade the space here. And we have to arrange this because we are going to change the features of the other ones. So now I'm going to select the years. If for some reason the year is marked, you just click again in the same year to have all the information back. Then I select the years case, and now I'm getting back to format. So I'm going to open the general. In general, here below there is an option that it says orientation, vertical. You can get in and you just change it to horizontal. Now you see all these buttons adopt this shape. Immediately, when it was in vertical, it would look like this. But if you were selecting this to horizontal, the buttons changed. So now I'm going to take out this title that says year. I can take it out, going to general, slicer header, and now this heading is off. What we can do also is change the items. For instance, we're going to change the background and put it into white, and the background will be blue. The text will be, the font color will be white, and the background will be blue. Also, I can assign the shadow effect and take out the background too, which is this, to turn it into transparent too. And here I'm going to put it fit according to the size, according to what I would like to show the information. So here I have the 3 years, and here they are. This is what I wanted. The same way I can make a copy of the whole format that we have here. I can make a copy of the full format. Okay, I want to see the 3 years. So as long as you are increasing or reducing is how you are preferring the layout. You can put it low or expand. Now let's make a copy of the format with the format painter and click here to months. So now you see the months are already there. And now you will see immediately that the months are also appearing here. Try to have all months here. If you don't have any more room left, you just leave it there. Obviously here's an arrow. This means that you can continue clicking on it because the months are hidden to December. Okay, so now we'll be adjusting later to have all included. Then you make a copy of this format for the quarters. And now you have quarters here. We're working with quarter number 3 because we highlighted September. So here are the 4 quarters, and you adjust the size and leave it there. Let's leave it like this temporarily. So I have my headings, I have all these elements. Now let's go to charts. So I select the charts here. Let's select this one, for instance, these bar charts that shows the sales by customer. And now let's move to this roller, the format painter. And now what we're going to do first is start with axis Y. We just turn it off because it went directly to on, but I don't want it. So just I can take it off. This customer axis. And now here we open to the right this arrow and we go to the bottom. There is one option that it says title. Here it is. It's on, and now we turn it off. And now you see how it changes immediately in vertical. This is customer, and now it's not activated. I can add more things. Yes, of course, we can add things at the y-axis and also the color, but just let's leave it there. And also the sales here in the axis X can be removed, but it's not good for me because I need to see the figures. So what I'm going to do is go to axis Y, and scrolling down, I deactivate the title. Now it's off. Good. So I've worked already with the axis. I close axis Y, and then I would like to see the values. So here I'm going to expand data labels. This one I activated, and now I have the amounts of each of them. So I activate it, and now going to, because I would like to see the round shapes, the round numbers. They're going to automatic and known. This means that I would like to see the whole value. Now you can change the position. You can put it inside, maybe outside, or you can make it inside, but there are some that can hardly see. Also, I can change and opt for this choice. So I close, and here I have it all. So about the headings, I can change that too. Here I move to title, and here I can turn it off. The title doesn't exist, or I can activate it here, and here I can change the title. Here it says sales by customer, but I would like to have it the figure, but I can add more words here to this title. To centered, here you go scrolling down, and then here it is. And also I have my illustration, but basically all the information must be seen. So what can I do is to reduce all of this, reduce the size, and I can do it from here. So here I can reduce, for instance, in data labels, I can reduce the text size, and as long as I reduce, these are the little numbers you have. Here it says it's only it's 8, the minimum, and then I'm going to close and then go to y-axis, and here I'm going to reduce also to 8 as minimum. Then I can reduce also the x-axis. Here I go here and reduce. So you can adjust the size according to your preference. So here is showing me this. I'm going to accommodate these ones as long as I'm working with more elements. Now the color is everything in light blue. Now we are going to combine it, and now we're going to choose this one. Looks good? Yes. And the color is this. So you can select the color of your preference here. So now I'm going to change all the features for this, and then I am going to click on this format painter where it's at the home river, and then click this like this. Then you see almost all elements or features immediately change it in the second one, excepting something like this. These numbers, for instance, I would like to have them all completely, so I select this element and also the same format. So I get back to the format and again go to the data labels, and here I click in display units. I choose none to have all the figures. If you don't see them all, it's because all of them are shrinked. Here where it says orientation, I click on vertical so that I have the vertical numbers in this way. Now again, I make a copy of this format painter, and then paste it on the next one. And then I copied all the formats that I had for this chart. But I'm going to add some changes again. So I click again to the roller here to the left, to the right. And for instance, the legend, I don't want to have the legend here, so I just remove it, clicking on, and put it off. Why? Because here in the data labels, there are details of the data. And I'm going to choose this option, label style, and here I'm going to select the categories only, or maybe show me the values, or maybe the percentage, or maybe show me the categories and the values. I can choose any of what I would like to. For instance, I'm going to choose this option that it says the percentages of all details. Maybe the information is too tight. And here is the best one. I'm going to increase the size. And so here is the chart. I can expand this chart a little more. And this the other one, yes, I can select it again. So this will change right now because it's going to shrink. Now again, I select any of the charts that I created and then get back to the format painter. So make a copy to the last chart of lines. And here it is. The heading is centered. Now you have the values in here in this order. In the same way, we have the numbers very reduced. So I get back to this label, go to roller, and here I'm going to select here in units. It says nothing. So remember this because everything is selected here. So I get back to the roller, and here I'm going to open data labels, click OK and none, so that I can have all information included, and they can change the position too. So they can change it into horizontal. Okay, so let's just place it in automatic. It looks good, much better this one. Okay, so we have assigned a format to the charts and the buttons that are at the top. Now let's move to the tables. Just select the first table of sellers, this one, and also I go to this roller, the format, and here I'm going to look for the characteristics of this table. At first we have this one that it says style, and here it says that it goes by default. You can select any of them. It's more minimalist. You can select your alternate goes or contrasted, another style. You have it with this style, with this combination of colors, or maybe condensed. Why? Because I would like to have more room left. But I will ask that my headlines, I want that every headline change the colors. For instance, this one. Or maybe I can change it from yellow to light blue. So the colors, you can choose the colors upon your preference. I'm going to leave it with this one. So to change the other color is here. So just move here and we can change the background also. And here it is. Now I'll make a copy of this format with the format painter and paste it. Now let's do something interesting for these two tables. For instance, let's get back to the sellers table. Now we have already gridded the total background. So what we are going to do is placing the top 5 sellers. Here I have 9 as a total, but I want to filter 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to filter the first top 5. So I go into this column that is now closed, and this one usually must be closed only when it's needed and you need to open it, but when it's not necessary you should keep it closed. And also here you will have a blank space, but since we are going to need it, then I select my table, go to the filters, and this. Let's see that you have the 3 fields that we have shown: the sales, the quantities, and the sellers. Here it says seller, and now here we choose this basic filtering and we change it. So here at top end, when we change it, here down was activated this option show items. I can choose the worst ones, or those ones that sold less amount, or those ones that sold the most, and I want to see the top. So it here also says add data. So to activate this apply filter. So I'm going to pull out any of these fields that I have here for sales amounts. For instance, I'm going to take sales, it could be any of them, and I'm going to pull it out here, exactly here. And now you see apply filter is activated, and now it's filtering the first top 5 sellers. I can reduce the size and put it down here, just there. So now let's continue with the procedure for this. So I'm going to select the products. I'm going to close this one. I select the product table and then go to filter, and I already have the 4 fields, the 3 fields, product, quantities, and sales. If I go to products, then I'm going to filter the top end, and here where it says top, I'm going to apply the 10, the 10 most important products. So I'm going to change those fields. So I'm going to do it with quantity, and now apply. Now you see that I have filtered the 10 products, most important products. Obviously this will change according to, everything will change according to the products. For instance, the most important sellers sold more than 5 million. So here I'm going to change it again. Here I'm going to type 5 and then apply again. So with this I am just showing the top 5 products most sold. So now I have more space left to make it bigger. That's what I wanted. And also I can do the same with this. Here it is. And I'm going to reduce the size of all of this. So everything is getting fit according you are applying the formats. And this will have a better good looking. Now you see I can expand it more. And that's all. So here I have my chart arranged and ready. Once I created and made all of this, I deactivate the filter, so I close this to occupy less space. And here I have my first report. Let's assign a name to this. Here I'm going to type something like home, which will be the begin of my report based on this information. Now I can analyze better the information. For instance, I select the year 2020, and here immediately I will have all information related to 2020. If I am interested in quarter 1, then I have everything related to quarter 1. And now if I would, you see all the sales and quantity amounts change. Then I get back, clicking on it again. Remember, you can adjust this also too, here at the top. So what I'm going to do first is this. For instance, if I have all the quarters below and the months here, this way. So this gives me or enables me to expand more so that I can see the 12 months here completely up to December. And the years, here I can open it, and here the quarters I can expand it more. Just reduce the size to occupy less space. And here the years. And so you see everything can be adjusted and fit, but have the information in a better layout. So now let's save it. Go to File, Save As. We're going to name that as inside the same table where and same folder where we are working at. And here we're going to name it Sales and Save. And ready. Let's review the folder where it is. Here it is. And here is the original file. Something very important that I have to say. Within its system, Power BI has an engine, an option that allows you to compress the information. Even though you have all the information included here completely, and you have created all these charts, these all occupy space. But when you are saving this file, if we open here and go to the bottom, it says the total weight is 87 kilobytes. And now you will see the original file in Excel. Here, if I click on here, the total weight is more than 700. So that's why when you are working with Power BI, is decreasing the weight of the file. Everything that you're going to occupy is just working with speed, with more speed. So imagine if you have a file in Excel of 400 or 800 megas, Power BI will reduce it because it has an option internally that allows you to reduce this, maybe of the information in rows and columns is reduced. I'm going to explain you more in detail of this. So I saved all the information, everything is ready, and now let's make a test. Let's make a trial, getting it back to the original, the source. I open it, and I'm going to add new information. So go down. So here I'm going to add some name, like George. Let's suppose we have George Lucas. And here I have all this data. I'm just making a copy of them, Control C and Control V. And that's all. So I'm adding new information. Let's suppose I have here 1 million in sales. And we're going to do it with this date. So when I am recording this video, it's, for instance, today is June 19th, 2021. You see that the format that I'm using here, it's a format, it starts with the months, day and year, but you can change it maybe to the month, then day, then or maybe the day after the month. No problem with the format of the date. So it's important to save the information. You can leave the information open, and this person sold for 1 million. So let's go to Power BI and we have to update it. And you see now that you will have a new seller with 1 million of sales. Here are the top 5 sellers. Here we have the 5 of them here, but one of them will be out of here, and he's going to add George here. So now he is with his 1 million sales. So if I get back to the source, expand it a little more, and here you have to have here immediately, and that's going to analyze what happened in here. You see that you have here all the information. We have the name, and also the 1 million amount is here, but not the year. Here it is. I made a mistake. I'm not applying the right date. I'm going to change it. So here I type again is 2021. June 2021. Okay, now it is updated. You can change also the day, the month, on the year or the hour even. Then get back and refresh, and the year must be included here. It's just making the connection. And here it is, the year. So if I click on the new year, You see that the unique information is filtering is of George. Here is what happened to this. This was only a copy, but this means that whenever I make a click, this means that everything that you're going to add or remove, everything will be uploaded, because the system already knows the root. Remember that we first changed it in the font and all the data, and it's recognizing all this. So with this, you have seen how to update, how to add information. We assign the formats, the most important formats. And one more thing before finishing, I can go to view, and here I can change a little bit of the format. These are themes already designed. So here what we're working with is the first one. But you can also change it then, for instance, with a purple background. And here you have this. Then you will have to take out all the backgrounds for all the other graphics. For instance, this one here, you can select this and go here in background. You can change the font and also change the text and the color. You can go to data labels, and here is the color. You can select the white color so that you can have it here. I'm not going to do this, so I get it back because there is not the design of them that I would like to. So here it is with Ctrl+C. And then we need to change the style. Here we have a more corporate style, not a dark background, but it's upon your preference. Here you have another option. The background is formal, and here you have a classic one. You see, it's nice also too. This other one maybe is for daltonic people. Here you have another one, and also we have another one. So you may select the design that you may consider convenient. The one that fits better to your work, or maybe according to the corporate colors of the company you're working at. Very good. So just to get back to the first one that you had with the colors of the roller, just get back here and select the first one. And with this, you are getting back to the initial colors you assigned at the beginning. Okay, good. So just select the design, and now you just save it here again. On the next session, we're going to continue with more graphic, more charts, but with more sheets.